So this morning I woke up and came down in my basement and noticed there was water all over, and came over here, which is by where the water comes into the house, and found that this elbow is leaking. Little history on this pipe, polybutylene pipe, was installed. My grandmother had it installed when she was the previous owner of the home, and she had it installed to replace the old steel piping that was in here before. Shortly after she had it installed, the polybutylene pipe was banned because it has a tendency to spring leaks. So I would recommend that if you have this type of piping in your house, that you get it replaced. I have replaced it everywhere in the house except right here, because here, this is before my shutoff valve that I have control over. In order to replace this, I'm going to have to call the city and have them shut off the valve out at the water meter and do some digging outside, and then I'll be able to replace it. But it won't be a lot of fun, and I've been putting it off, but today's the day. So the primary failure point I've had with this polybutylene pipe in my house is the fittings. These plastic fittings, they tend to break and start leaks. I've never really had the piping itself fail, but these plastic fittings, they have failed on a couple of occasions. I think the design weakness is that they are plastic, whereas the newer style PEX uses a metal fitting. So there's a PEX elbow for comparison. That's what's going to end up being here. I could put a polybutylene adapter right here, short section of PEX, the elbow, and then run up to my shutoff valve and put a 3/4 inch NPT adapter on that. But I think I am sick of having polybutylene inside my house, so I'm going to go outside, do some digging, and connect it outside so that I don't have any of this in my house anymore. Okay, I have successfully replaced the last bit of polybutylene pipe that was in my house. I've installed PEX to replace it, and now my house is completely plumbed in PEX. I didn't show the process just because I'm not a qualified plumber, and I don't want to be responsible for somebody installing it improperly and causing major damage to their home. This is the third polybutylene joint failure that I've had in my house. The first one, I replaced the joint using adapters to PEX and a PEX joint. It worked fine. Then a second joint sprung a leak, so I re-plumbed everything that was after my shutoff valve. I didn't address this last elbow just because I would have to call the city, get them to shut off the water, and go dig a hole outside. But I was playing with fire, and obviously I was lucky that it just sprung a slow leak. Had it failed catastrophically, I would have thousands of dollars of damage in my basement right now. My advice would be that if your home was plumbed between 1978 and 1995, that you take a look and see if you have any polybutylene pipe. If you do, I would recommend that you get it replaced. If you want to tackle this job yourself, I would get the advice of a qualified plumber on how to do the processes involved. For my house, which is a small house with one bathroom, one kitchen, it cost me maybe $300 or $400 in materials. It wasn't too bad. Obviously, if you have a bigger house with more water needs, then it would cost some more. And if you hire a plumber, it's going to cost more than that. But either way is probably cheaper than having a major flood in your home. If you've got polybutylene fittings and pipe in your house, you're sitting on a ticking time bomb.